ain't gonna be easy. Not as easy as it used to be.
Damn, I thought that was closer.
Teacher? Part-time.
Doesn't that just get you pumped? Hi, Spidey here again, and welcome to this week's movie review of Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, starring Harrison Ford, Cate Blanchett, and Shia LaBeouf. I'll say it straight off the bat, this movie isn't worth bitching at all, and anybody who does is wrong about this movie. I hear so many complaints from people about sequels to classic movies like Star Wars or this movie. People love the classics and don't want them to be tampered with, yet these are the same people who bitch about a movie before it's even out, see it anyway, and continue to bitch. Listen, we have got to stop trashing good movies because of our bias to classics. Movies that we saw when we were kids are more special to all of us than sequels that are made years later. And no matter how good a sequel is, it will never live up to the originals we saw when we were young. This is the case with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. A lot of people love the original and the new indie flick just won't be as special as the first three. Here, I'll give you an example. I, like many other people my age, loved the Ninja Turtles when I was a kid. I loved everything about them and I loved the movies as well. So, when I heard that a new CGI Ninja Turtle movie was coming out, I was sort of stoked about it, but was let down when I saw it. It isn't that the movie was bad, because it was a good movie and very well done, but it wasn't the classic Ninja Turtles that I grew up with, thus by default, it lacked a specialty to it and I didn't enjoy the movie. But that doesn't mean that it was a bad movie at all. The same goes for Indiana Jones. This is a new indie for a new generation and isn't bad at all, so stop letting your bias for the classics cloud your judgment of the movie. Okay, now to the movie itself. I'll start off by saying that this movie was very over the top. A cool aspect of the first three indie movies was that to an extent what went on in the movie was possible in real life, but that's not the case for this film at all, and to take out the feeling of realism sort of takes you away from the movie. Don't get me wrong, I love big action, but this is some really goofy over-the-top stuff we're talking about here. Surviving a nuke blast by hiding in a fridge? Sword fighting between driving trucks while constantly getting hit in the nuts before falling off of a cliff, onto a tree, and down 3 huge waterfalls and surviving? Come on now, even I think that's a little absurd. Some people will say that the CGI was weak at times, and this is sort of the case. It's not that the CGI in general is bad, but for who did it, the standard was low, and in this case, Lucas's film company is capable of far better CGI than what was in the movie. Cast was good and played off of each other well, but not fantastic. Cate Blanchett stars as the movie's villain, and it's nice to see her play something other than a British woman for a change. While she isn't as good as the past villains, she does manage to pull her role off well. Shia LaBeouf was as good in this as he was in Transformers, and Harrison Ford is freaking indie, so there's no complaint there. At times, the pace of the movie seems to slow down and you could get bored for a bit, but it picks back up quickly. In the end, Spielberg and Lucas seem to have a lot of fun making this movie, and by all means, it shows. And to me, the two most important aspects of movie making is having the skill to do it and having fun doing it. The movie is entertaining and a good time, and if you go in not expecting it to be exactly like the original 3 movies, then you should have a good time as well. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull gets an 8 out of 10.